And thank you for staying with us. Natalie, that footage with Alan and Robyn, what do you think the message is that people would take away in watching their journey?
I mean, I'm always every time I see Alan speak, I'm always so inspired, because obviously it had a significant impact on my life, and Robyn as well. The message is that it does not have to be difficult, that you can do it, and you can do it easily. So I mean, Alan's mission was to cure the world of smoking, and you know, we're still a way away from that yet. But he's got people like me all over the world continuing his fantastic work. So yeah, always very inspiring for me when I see Alan.
Okay. Well, speaking of inspiring and the fact that it works, I'd like to welcome Serena.
Thank you, Robyn, for having me on the show.
And thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Because from what Natalie said, you are another person who has found the easy way to be an easy way.
That's exactly right. I am so enthused, and I'm so happy to be free of that vice you sort of have around your head, that I'd love to tell the whole world about it. And in fact, yes, I do carry brochures around in my handbag and hand them out to whoever would like to listen. And
Okay.
it was just so easy.
Okay.
The hardest thing was making the phone call.
Alrighty. Well, before we go into how that happened, how long had you been smoking? How many a day? And how many ways had you endeavoured to give up?
44 years a smoker.
Whoa, how old were you when you started? You look so
16.
young. Oh, okay, we know how old you are now. And for how long had you been endeavouring to give up?
Oh, I think every smoker wants to give up at some point in time, and I suppose as you got older and had a daughter, and I'd tried nicotine replacement therapy, chewing gum, 2 sessions of clinical hypnotherapy, and patches.
Okay.
And every time you go back smoking.
And over how long a time frame were you endeavouring to give up?
Oh, I'd say 20 years.
So of the 44 years, 20 years of it, you didn't want to smoke.
That's right.
Why do you think you kept smoking?
Because I felt it was my crutch, my support. I never went anywhere with at least more than 1 packet of cigarettes in my bag. It had to be at least 2.
Why 2?
Oh, in case I ran out.
Okay. And when you found Natalie
Yes.
and the Alan Carr method, what was different?
Well, I'd actually read a little caption in a Sunday paper, and it said if it would have been so easy, I would have done it a long time ago. Also, it said it was a combination of psychotherapy and hypnotherapy, and it's actually fear that keeps you smoking.
Okay.
And I thought that's the most sensible thing I had ever read in my life.
Okay, so you did a 5-hour session with Natalie.
5-hour session with Natalie.
And what happened that evening?
I didn't know what to think. I went to bed very early, actually,
Why?
in case I got a craving.
And did you?
No, it didn't happen. I woke up the next morning, no craving, not having to go out the back and have a cigarette, because I don't do that anymore.
So what happened to your ritual and things during the day? The coffee, the drink, the...
It just doesn't happen anymore. I don't want to have I don't do that anymore. I remember I used to finish talking with a client at work and, I just don't do that anymore. I'll go and do something else.
So when you have that thought, I don't do that anymore, what else comes in for you?
How good it feels.
Yeah?
How good it feels to be free.
Yeah, look at the smile on your
I
face.
know. I think by the 3rd day I wrote the letter to Natalie.
Was it day 3?
It was a day 3, and I was just jumping over the moon. I was just so happy. And at work, of course, they were all looking at me like stunned mullets because they couldn't believe it. Die-hardy smoker I was.
How long have you been in that particular workplace?
Be 2 years.
2 years. Okay, so they've known your rituals and the going out. And what does your daughter think of you now?
Oh, she loves it. She was probably my instigator.
Oh,
Mum, you smell. Mum, you don't miss that anymore. You don't miss the smell. You don't miss the ash. You don't miss burning things. All those things are gone. And it's just such a great, fantastic feeling.
You don't miss the cigarettes.
I know, I certainly don't. And I like having the extra money. I mean, a carton a week, and only a very good brand. They were about $103 a carton.
Okay.
So it's a lot of money.
So when was it that you had the session?
Last August.
August 2006?
Yes.
Okay, and we're now in May 2007.
Yes.
So that's, what, about 9 months or something?
Yeah, it's gone. It's just not there anymore.
I think Serena made a really interesting point. She wrote the letter to me on day 3. Most smokers wait. It's like they put this time frame on it, waiting for something to happen. She didn't need to wait because she just knew she didn't smoke, and that's another fundamental difference with Alan's method. You're not waiting. No. There is no 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months. You just don't smoke.
Okay. So then you encouraged people from your workplace.
Oh yes, I have.
How many altogether?
I've referred about 15 people.
And how many of those are still non-smokers?
13 of them at this stage.
And the 2 that weren't?
They still have a bit of a backup course to do, I think. Okay. One of them, unfortunately, her husband is in palatial care. The other girl, I don't know whether she actually did the right thing and did everything that she was supposed to do, which I think is important. Like writing down how you feel and then writing down how good you feel.
Okay, so 13 out of 15 is pretty good.
That's very good average, very good average. And I hope to refer lots more.
Out there, banging the drum. What other areas does the Alan Carr philosophy method go into other than smoking?
The original Alan Carr method was very much about smoking, but Alan realised that the same logical approach could be applied to other addictions, other problems. So he's since introduced it to alcohol, to weight loss, and also at the London clinic they also deal with coke and heroin addiction. So it really is, it's like Serena said, it's more about a fear of losing your crutch, so it can be applied to other areas.
Okay. How's it working with the heroin and drug addiction?
Hand on heart, I couldn't honestly tell you because I've not been involved in that part of the business.
Yeah, okay. So how many clinics are there in Australia now?
In Australia we now have clinics, we're all in all the major cities, so we now have 5.
Okay. Don't usually, unless it's a community organisation, mention websites on the show, because people know they can go into the show website. However, would you just like to say what the website is where people can find out more information?
I'd love to. It's www.alancarr.com.au, and Alan spells his name A-L-L-E-N, and then it's C-A-R-R.
Excellent, thank you for that. Now, something very sad on one level happened last year, and it happened on your birthday. What was it?
It did. It was my birthday. It was November 2006, and Alan had smoked for 33 years as a chain smoker for 33 years, and he actually passed away from lung cancer in November 2006, which, as I said, you said, it was actually on my birthday, which sort of felt very sort of poignant. But he was actually diagnosed in July of the same year, and he was very, very positive and very upbeat about it, because what he always said was, if he hadn't stopped smoking when he had stopped, which had been 23 years prior, he would have been dead 20 years ago. And also that the last 20 years of his life were the best years of his life. So it's an incredible legacy that he's left behind, and to me it's just such an honour that I'm able to continue his amazing work and carry on that legacy.
Okay, so 5 years from now for you?
5 years from now, okay, 5 years from now. Oh look, we really want to get Alan's method, we want to make sure that everybody in this country has access to this method, that it's not just restricted to the big cities, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, but even the country towns, that we've got clinics that are accessible to all smokers, and that it becomes, the preferred method of quitting, because it really can be that easy if you just understand how it works in the first place.
Okay. Natalie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your personal journey and a bit of Alan's journey, and obviously the DVD. And
Thank you,
Serena, thank you so much for sharing your journey.
Thank you.
You're obviously a wonderful advocate.
I certainly am.
And as I said, we don't usually, be seen to be promoting a product, and it's not necessarily about that. It is about, though, just, providing an option if what you have been doing has not been working for you or your loved ones. So, end of another show. The website, www.conversationswithrobyn.com. You can go into the on-air section and find out stations, times and guests. And also, if you go into the recordings section, you can find out the list of shows we have and website details. Until next time, take care.